Hey everybody, my name is Adam from Encounter Wargaming, and today I'm going to teach you how to paint MDF terrain by doing a walkthrough tutorial on this Hive City Habitat from Tabletop Scenics. Check it out. Okay, so if you guys are checking out the whole series, you've seen our Hive City Habitat is been left in a few extra pieces. He's not quite fully assembled because there are things that I want to paint separately on this just to make my life easy. So if you want to see the completion of the building, just at the end of this video, we will fully assemble the whole thing. But for now, I mean, I've left things modular. I've left things in separate pieces so that we can easily, quickly get this building done in just a few hours, ready for the tabletop, looking slick. And yeah, so I mean, guys, if you want to know how to paint a cool piece of terrain like this fairly quickly, stay tuned and we will get on it. So first things first with the painting, we have our Hive City Habitat here. What we're going to do is just cover it all in a flat red primer from Rust-Oleum. This is their 2x Ultra Cover Painter's Touch. And then we're going to do a top-down kind of zenithal of the Satin Nutmeg. Now I stole this painting system from Ash Barker. He's a great quick painter to make things look awesome, and this is very helpful, very cool little scheme going on. So I'm totally going to use it on these buildings. And this is just like such a great deep dark, like reddish brown, and this one highlights it really nicely and goes over top, gives it like a nice rusty base coat, nice dirty rusty base coat, and this works up really nicely to some lighter beige colors for what these buildings might actually be. So there you go. So let's start with that and see how you do. We'll be back. And we're back, and this is it done with the first two layers of rattle canning. Very simple. So you got the nice light brown nutmeg color that covers most of it, and then you see from the underneath and from the sides you get this nice reddish brown. So fabulous technique, very simple, gets it done real cheap and easy. Good thing about the rattle cans too is it helps absorb. This MDF is very porous, so it just sucks up paint, right? And so 2 coats of rattle can on top of these, and you're good to go. And you can just, we're gonna start airbrushing on top of this now. So there you go. So that's that. Have fun with that, and let's move on to the next step. All right, I'm also gonna take these pieces out here and just black prime everything first, and then I'm gonna take a silver rattle can and cover everything with silver. So black then silver, let's do it. Yeah, have fun. And so the next step is to put some airbrush highlights on. The rattle cannon's looking really good. We got some nice fades with the red and the brown. Well, the dark brown and the light brown, I guess. And so what we're going to do here is take Vallejo Game Air Leather Brown and Vallejo Game Air Bone White. Mix them up in the airbrush to get a nice light beige color that you might like. And then what we're going to do is just add some highlights. And this is all about catching edges, corners, that kind of thing. And so here we go. We'll just show you an example on this little structure. Just get the outside edge all the way around, and then maybe catch the window. And here we go. Let's just do that on all sides. All right. Window and edge. Bam, too easy. All the way around. Just that window. All right, and so now you can see we got some nice gradients, some nice fades. And what you can do is you can compare it to this one. It's still very flat, right? I mean, it's cool, it's passable, but this just has that much more pop, okay? And so, yeah, go ahead and do this on the entire building. And so, same thing, when you approach big monstrosity like this guy, same thing, we're gonna do like around all the windows, catch all the corners and edges on the building and window frames and stuff. And so just go ahead, same idea as what we just did on the whole thing. Yeah, so go ahead, have fun with that, and we'll be right back. So now that that's all done, what we're going to do is we're going to start to black out everything that's going to be metal. So just have a large tub of just airbrush primer that's black, and so I'm just going to dump a bunch out in my airbrush right here. And now we're just going to come in real soft on areas like this window. And we're just going to black them out so that we can come in later with some metal. Be very careful. Boom. Yeah, so just go ahead, do that on all the doorways and everything. A couple more. I guess I'll just finish this side on camera. Yeah. You get the idea. Oh shoot, this is gonna be tough. There we go. And what this will do is it'll just help create kind of a shadow. So even though the airbrush is like getting onto everything, when we do the silver, we'll start to differentiate lines, and the black will look more like a shadow than it does like messy airbrushing. So last one on this side. There it is. So, okay, so there you go. You start to kind of get the effect there. What we're also going to do is all of my flooring I do black to match my Adeptus Titanicus terrain. So just go ahead and get that all black as well. Do that and we'll be right back. All right, and so for our habitat, same thing. We're just going to now highlight as well. So we've done the black. Now it's time to get in here with a little bit of Vallejo gunmetal, and we're going to use that to start blocking out our metallic areas. Now the black is creating a little bit of a shadow, so we don't need to get right to the edge. We just kind of want to get in there in the middle. Boom, there we go. We got a nice silver door. So let's just lean into the effect that that's going to give us here. And all the windows and all the doors. Just kind of embrace that black, shadowy, dirty, smoky look. Oh, I missed one. Let's go circle back and get that. Maybe I can make up for it. Just maverick it. We'll see. Cool. All right, and then so on the habitat, let's pull this big guy over. Oh no, doesn't fit. The habitat, same thing, right? Let's just take one of these walls here. Start to block in the metal bits. All right, and you can see how it's already starting to look like a nicely, it's got a little bit of a highlight. Boom, pretty good, right? And so go ahead and do that on all the windows and the fencing all around the Mini. So there you go. And we are back. So the whole thing has the gunmetal on it, and so now it's time to come in with a little Vallejo Model Air Silver, and we will just do that on all the spots we just did, leaving a little bit more room now just to create a good highlight. Oops, that was a little bit wackadoodle. Trying to aim for right in the middle, just to make it really pop. So there you go. So look at compare the difference now between those two. See, one is a much brighter, much more, popping a lot more, and so there you go. So that's the goal. We want that for all of our windows and doors. Everything that's metal, we want that nice popping look. So go ahead and do it on everything. Just go around, shoot it right in the middle. Nice highlight on all that. And same thing here for this fence, right? You can just you know, get the corners, get edges like that, but also the fence itself can just continue to get that top edge. And so very, very, very cool effect. Very simple to do. As you can see right there. So go ahead and let's make all of our metal pop like that. There you go. And once you're doing that on the whole building, we also have these extra bits as well to do it on. So what we can do, these were all spray painted black and then silver, and so now they're ready just for the same treatment as the rest. So a quick little highlight around the top. We'll catch some edges. And there we go. So that's a cool looking little roof there. Just get some color gradient. We're gonna rust all these up. For things like these and the gantries and all that, just catch edges. Again, very simple. Little minor clog. Let's see if we can't troubleshoot that. There we go. Cool. So again, just some color modulation there, and I still have a bunch of them just like on the sprue, and so just catch the top edge of each of them. Why not, right? Both sides. You won't really be able to see the inside, but just in case there's areas that stick through. And if you get more of a top down on these, we can cover whatever edges were missed by the spray paint if they're out of the sprue. Otherwise, we'll just come in and do that as we assemble as well, as we pull them out of the frame. But I kept them on the frame because it has the numbers for each of them. There you go. So you can see how simple and effective that is. The backs are not as important because we won't see them as much. There you go. So go ahead and finish that up on all of your balconies, walkways, fences, and the rest. We are back, and so you might find we're going to do some of the black now, but we do just have to touch it up because when we did the silver, we got a little bit on there. Now, overspraying silver onto black, you obviously really notice it, but overspraying black onto silver, you notice it a lot less. So I'm just going to go back around and touch up all the black a little bit to get ready to do some gray highlights on there. So let's load up the airbrush with paint, and then just very carefully redo those edges and get any spots where it oversprayed silver on there. So there you go. Just go ahead, cover those spots up, do some nice touch-ups, and we'll be back. Alright, so now that it's all blocked out, we are going to come in with some Vallejo Modeler Black Gray and just start to do some highlights. Now there's some great shapes here, circles, squares, all sorts of fun stuff, and so let's just get our Black Gray in there and start to box those out. You can even just take the little thing, I painted the floors black here as well, get some little highlights in there, real simple, real quick. Boom, right? Easy as that. And same thing on here, so just kind of follow the patterns, right? And use the lines, block it, just capture each square, each corner. Keep it simple. Just one little go around on each, and yeah, have fun with it. Make it pop. Make this black floor stand out. You know. Go ahead and do it on all the levels, but yeah, you see, it's just starting to create some variation. A lot of it won't be seen because the railings will go around anyway. So, you know, may as well just do a little something something and have fun with that. So go ahead and do it on the whole thing. And so now that that is done, let's come in and let's give a little bit more texture, definition, and highlight all at the same time by taking some Ushabti bone and a dry brush, and just with a downward pattern, coming down on all of the brick. And it's okay if you get this on some of the other parts, but the downward pattern helps make it look like weathering a little bit, and like dirt, dust, even like water damage is streaking downwards on the building, while also doing a nice highlight job on any of the ridges. Right, and it's okay to get this on some of the other parts because it also helps tie everything in together, right? And so you can see if we compare. Here it's very, very flat still, even though it's got some nice color modulation. But this, man, some real rough textures, making it look a lot more like brick. Some of those like big fat ones that look kind of like mistakes, I'll come in there and I'll cover it up with either rust or like rust damage or whatever kind of weathering effect we so choose. So there you go. Have some fun with that and do that on the entire model. And we're back after all the dry brushing, and it's starting to look really fantastic. So now what we're going to do is take the sponging, and this is just like an old miniature figure case foam sponge, and some dark brown, like a dryad bark from G-Dub. Any dark brown will do. Dab it off on your palette, and now just start to chip away at things. Just nice and light. Refresh your sponge when you need to, and it'll give you a nice speckled look to everything. Focus on high traffic areas, so any doorways that lead out would be probably more sponged up or speckled up than the rest. So there's a doorway that comes out of this guy right here, and so yeah, let's create a little pathway. Maybe someone would walk over this way, spend time in this corner looking out from this building. All right, maybe they'd have walked over here and looked out here, checked out what's going on in the bell tower. Let's just get all the edges here. Yeah, maybe they walked over like that way and spend some time in and around there. All right, cool. So there you go. So just go around and do that on the entire thing. All right, so I've gone ahead and done another layer of sponging. You can just go ahead with a light silver and sponge again, just on top of all of the brown areas you just did, and then you'll get this kind of chipping effect. So I'm assuming here that the very, very, very base of this is like a metal color, right? So it's scraping right down to the metal. We're gonna come back in with the airbrush later and do some more weathering, but there you go, another layer of sponging, even more selective, even more careful, and just keep it subtle. There you go. So enjoy that. Do it all over the black, and then what we're going to do is we are going to glue on these side rails. It's very exciting. The model is almost complete. Just a little bit more painting and weathering to do, as well as getting all these pieces on. So let's see here. We want to get so go ahead and pull out all the pieces for this, lay them out. There's going to be two layers. There's going to be a backing layer and then a front layer to give some depth and dynamic. So go ahead, pull out all those pieces, and we'll be right back to glue them on. All right, and we're back. So we've got this double layer of wood here to create a beautiful fence that goes along here. And now they've brilliantly designed it so that you have your pegs here that slot in on the model. And then you have this nice finishing piece that covers up where those pegs would be, right? Amazing. So you lose some of the model kit look to it, as well as creating some depth, because now you have these two layers offset from each other like this. You see that? Really beautiful. So here we go. So let's glue it on. And so what I would suggest is it's not that great to glue paint onto paint. And so just take a couple of the areas and just scrape some of the paint off. All right, so let's say the middle one and the two end brackets here. Scrape it right down to the wood. And maybe we'll do that in two areas. We'll do it up here by the points as well. Right down to the wood. Brilliant. And you have the guidelines here for the laser cut lines. Will show you where to not scratch, because that's where the next layer will show and it'll be exposed. All right, and so now we need to scratch off some paint in the same spot on the other side. All right, and now we know for this piece, it's basically the entirety of it will be gluable, so you don't have to worry about scratching too much on this piece. All right, so there you go. Awesome. Just get all the little bitties off. All right, so now let's just take some glue. I will put some glue on all the areas just because more surface area sticking is going to be helpful. All right, so now let's take this, glue it on, and you have the laser lines to guide you. So you can stick that on with confidence that the laser lines will keep you all lined up as long as you're careful. Yeah, brilliant. So there you go. So that is good to go. Now, go ahead and do that on all the guys, but then what you can do is just stick this guy in here. So I'm just going to do a little dry fit first. Brilliant. So that sticks on nicely, just like that. Cool. All right, so I love how that's fitting. What I want to do, guys, is because this was sitting in the frame, right? The top bits didn't get a full coverage of silver, and so I'm just going to take out my airbrush and zap some silver on areas where it's still a little bit woody. All right, so I'm going to take out the gunmetal silver. Okay, and I'll just go on over all of that. Okay, so here we go. Just get my house out of the way so I don't get silver all over it. Just come in from the top, cover up all the wood. With a little bit of silver. And let's do the sides as well. The sides are important. There we go. Brilliant. The other side. Cool. So now we're good to go ahead and stick that on here. Yeah, looking slick. All right. So what I'm going to do, again, is scrape off some paint off the insides so that we're going on wood. Okay, all the way, and especially in this area, open area right here. All right. Okay. Let's see, last thing to consider. What I think I might do is scrape right along the edge here. Okay, just so I can have a solid wood contact all the way down. Great. Now, to complement that, I'll just scrape some of the paint off right here, right down to the wood. So we're sticking wood on both sides instead of paint. Great. And so we'll just get the pieces close to where that's going to attach to, so maybe harder to get them if that piece is glued on already. All right, so there we go. So I got those, got this, and now I think we're ready to glue it on. So just let's go ahead, get some glue, and stick it down the length of where we just scraped and where it's going to stick. All right, and let's glue that in. Fabulous. So that goes on nice and snug, very easy. And look, oh, it's just going to complete this building right here. So, all right, guys, go ahead. Let's do all of the first floor, and you may as well just go do all of the second and third floor as well. So I'll come back and I'll show you guys what it looks like completed, and get ready for the next step. But yeah, and I'll cut in if I run into any tricky spots that I feel like order is important or where I may make mistakes. Just to help us out. So go ahead and do that, and we'll be back in a snap. And we're done attaching all of the railings. So that is it, all built and completed. Woo! Just have to add our weathering, and then we're done this guy. So that looks super cool. Super stoked about how that goes. Awesome. Amazing. Okay, so let's jump over to the next step. What we're going to do is we're going to start weathering this guy with some rust. And so what we're going to start off with is Reaper Master Series Harvest Brown. Amazing color to start off a base for rust. I've loaded it into the airbrush, and I've just added a little bit of high flow medium golden. And what we're going to do is just every metal area, we are going to put random splotches of rust. So let's say like this window right here. We'll come in, make sure color's coming out. Oh, let's see here. So I'm gonna help myself out a little bit. Got a clog already. Okay, so we're just gonna come in. Any spot we want a little bit of rust, right up on that balcony right there. How about up on that balcony right there, or in this window? Definitely, we're gonna have rust all over this roof. All right. Oh, you can't see the roof. And whoop, there it is. So yeah, tons of rust all over there. Maybe the edge, this window, this fence. Definitely. Oh yeah, this big round window here. Amazing. Let's have two spots in there. They're nice and big. One right in the middle, one on the side. Cool. So you can see how quick you can be about this. How about in the hinges here? Too cool. There it is. Good. All over these nice fence railings that we did. And the hinges, this doorway, windows, the doors under there. Windows under there. Oh, these exhaust vents, definitely. Amazing. So there you go. So just go around and do that on the entire building, and we'll be right back. And here we are. All those layers are done. And now what we're going to do is just take another airbrush go at this, and we're going to use Reaper Master Series Orange Brown. Sorry, the label's a little bit faded. Been making good use of that throughout the years. All right, and so got my airbrush loaded up with it already. What I'm going to do is just kind of make these pop just a little bit more. I've just taken the center of each little spot of rust and making it pop just a little bit more in color. Give some color modulation, give some highlight. And there you go. Just kind of finish this wall for you guys, give you an idea. Got some spots up here on the roof. All right, you see that? Just some nice color modulation, some nice pop. Get right in there. And again, just going quick. It's terrain. We want it to look nice, but we don't want to spend forever. All right, so there you go. So that's one side of it. So go ahead and do that on the whole thing, and we'll be right back. All right, so we are done on the whole thing, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a more liquidy rust paint here. What I've done is I've taken the RZA Rust dry paint, and I've actually mixed it in with some water and this Vallejo model dark rust wash. Okay, and that's created a nice soupy, textury wash color here that's brighter than the last orange we did, and it's going to create some texture and some nice streak water effects. Okay, so take that's all mixed up, and we'll just take a smaller paintbrush and we'll just attack this right here. We'll pick some rust spots and we'll just get that on and streak it down. Okay, creating that liquid water damage streaky look. So there you go. You just go around, do that on the whole model, create a nice effect there. It's super easy, nice 3-step rust effect. It doesn't take much effort or skill at all, but it really is going to make for a sweet weathered habitat here. All right, so do a couple more examples. As you can see, I've already been working on this a little bit. Some of the spots. And there you go. You can hear my 2-year-old just having a great time in the background. All right. So there you go, guys. I'll get you a zoomed in look at that. As you can see, texture, streakiness, good looking rust. So go ahead, do that all over. Oh, that would look really good if we had some right here. See some chunks, some rust chunks there from the RZA Rust, as well as getting some streaks going. There you go. So that's the effect you're going for. Go ahead and do that on the whole thing. Sweet. So now that is done. Let's come in with a nice medium tone brown. So this is a Vallejo Model Air Dark Earth. And let's load up our airbrush. And what we're going to do is just dirty up the floors a little bit. Just give areas for, it looks like it's worn down from people walking across or whatever have you. All right, so here we go. Let's load up. So I guess we'll start at the, where do we want to start? Let's start at the bottom. Okay, so we got this tiny little walkway just down here, and so we'll just get it a little brown in the middle there. Look like someone's been walking through there. Definitely the roof. So let's see, let's angle that down. So we've got this nice flat area, and so just kind of follow where you did the paint chipping. We did the paint chipping for a reason. Those are the worn and used areas, right? So let's dirty up that path a little bit. Sweet. Awesome. So subtle but effective. Get some of these balconies a little bit. Great. And yeah, why not a little bit on the first floor here from the doorways. Beauties. There we go. So that's a fun little detail that you can do to just add a little bit more character and weathering. Let's go on to the final step. And so that is done. Now let's do the last step. Let's just take a good little bit of Nuln oil, good old Nuln oil, and grab that. We're just going to create some rain drip effects, some just general weathering on the brick, because we have some nice rust for the metal. So take some areas like under the eaves troughs, or the whatever you call them, I don't know, and just use that nice black wash to streak down, create some pooling, streak down, and get some nice rain damage effects right there. And so that'll just go a long way to add to the overall feel of this weathered building. Create a little less clean. It's been sitting around for a while, and disperse them evenly, you know, in one area that's maybe really dirty, but generally I like to create a nice even effect all over the mini. So there you go. So something like that. and just go ahead and do it around the entire piece. And there it is, all assembled. Guys, this kit is so tall. Look how far out I had to zoom out on this thing. You can see my hobby desk. Bam, it is super cool looking. I'm gonna rotate it around so you can see it from all sides. This is the first time you guys have seen it this far zoomed out. Sweet kit, so much detail. Balconies, rooftop, more balconies. So amazing. This Hive City Habitat is really everything you want in a piece of terrain. Think about 8th edition 40K, it's perfect. Think about a Victorian style steampunk game like Malifaux, amazing. Do it, just have fun with it, use it for whatever you want. Such a versatile kit, so much fun, easy to build, easy to paint. You guys saw with just a little bit of rattle canning, a little bit of airbrushing, a little bit of dry brushing, and some weathering, you can have a really sweet looking building right there. So guys, there it is. And here's something too. If you wanted to take something simple like the Hive City Iron Gate fence kit, you can have a cool little gate. Here, let's push this back. Cool little gate and some fences. I mean, the kits are massive, so there's so many more fences you get in the kits, but just a little example of how you could jazz up this terrain, really tie your table in together. And yeah, I had a lot of fun, some super fun painting and building all this stuff. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough process of how to build it, how to paint it. If it helps you out, that's great. Comment below, what's your next model kit? What are you working on? What pieces of terrain do you like? And yeah, just have a chat. Let's have a chat about what's coming up next. Guys, if you like this video, jump down there, hit subscribe and the bell if you want notifications about when future videos come out. As well, if you really like this video, go down to our Patreon link where you can support everything we do here on the channel for as little as $1 per video. We do terrain tutorials, building and painting tutorials for model kits, as well as battle reports for all the games that you guys love. Guys, that's it for today, and we will see you at our next encounter.
Like a monkey in a rocket on his way back home. Okay.